Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Would you care for a jelly baby?
I will always care for a jelly baby.
Or would you care for a jelly baby? What you got?
Orange one.
I've got an orange one. But Tom Baker is here.
He is.
Well, he's not here.
No.
He is
You'd hear him if he was here.
broadcasting through the ethers. Mm-hmm. And this is really where I start to remember Doctor Who on its original broadcast.
Right. Okay.
But I'd be fascinated to know what your earliest memories of seeing Tom Baker are.
Probably on video, because I don't remember. I should, because I'm old enough to
I know you remember Davison.
Yes, I do. But I'm old enough to remember late Tom Baker. But the only thing I can think that stopped me from seeing long or remembering late Tom Baker is the fact that we visited my grandparents
All right.
on a Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have been allowed to watch television there.
Okay. You had to have flat lemonade, did you?
We did have flat lemonade, yeah,
No, but no jelly babies.
but no jelly babies.
Okay,
I have one
right.
now, so.
Let's begin then.
Right.
Doctor Who Robot. Or as it says on here, Doctor Who and the Giant Robot.
You've got Tom Baker's head, haven't you?
Or actually, if I hold it there, look, we've got two copies.
Oh my goodness.
Dr. W.H. Tom Baker and the Giant Robot, because you can't see the O. It's like W.H. Smith's, but W.H. Tom Baker. And there's almost no difference between these two copies, except one is 35p and the other one is 40p.
Okay.
You see?
One's 5p more.
Hmm.
Must be a bit later.
There you go. Well, yeah, there you
I
go.
love the way,
What?
is he twatting or what? Not twatting.
Twatting?
Twatting, sorry.
There's aeroplanes attacking him and stuff.
That never happens.
That never happens on the
No,
telly. No,
no.
it's one of those. And there's a unit Land Rover being booted up the exhaust pipe, and
Right.
loads of tiny little men falling out.
Aww.
Look at the tiny unit
Poor
men.
unit soldiers.
Yeah,
Mean robot.
but robots.
It's fun.
Robot is fun, and Tom Baker is having a whale of a time.
And
I
he
think.
immediately, well, not in episode 1, because obviously he's still all over the place, but the moment he gets the costume on and gets taken, to wherever it is he's taken, he immediately starts to nail the character as he's going to play it.
Yes.
And it's weird, because you've got Tom Baker in a John Pertwee story.
Well, that's the thing. It is very much the Pertwee setup. But the whole point is that the Doctor has changed utterly.
And he doesn't fit.
And the Brig and Benton
You have to sort of try and deal with it.
just have quite no idea what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. As I saw somebody put
More jelly beans.
last night, he's got his. I might have been Sue actually in Neil and Sue Perriman's excellent book,
Wife
the
in
Mad
Space.
One. Yes. He's got his feet on Bessie's windscreen.
All right.
So John Pertwee's Doctor would have had a fit at that. Can you move your feet, sir? What about that one?
But yeah, you said we've met Tom Baker a few times, haven't we?
At least twice.
And yes, he offered you a jelly baby,
We did.
didn't he? So you better say.
Yes, we went to a signing at 10th Planet in
What was that
Barking.
for?
I can't remember.
Some bit of merchandise.
The most exciting thing was Tom.
Okay.
And he had a bottle of Bishop's Finger
Ale.
ale, because he used to be very religious. You know,
That was his excuse
that
for
was
drinking
his excuse. And would you like a jelly baby? And it was like,
So you took it?
I took a jelly baby, and then I had this thing of, oh, do I eat it or do I keep it? Do I eat it? Do I keep it?
it. And of course you ate it. Yeah.
Because they go hard and horrible anyway.
But I've got another book here, The Making of Doctor Who, which is actually a very good condition copy of it. £1.80. So that's quite a late reprint, I think. But the original version of The Making of Doctor Who studied the Sea Devils as a production. This one, because I think is the original one was written, I think, more by Malcolm Hulke.
Yes.
And this one, I think, was written more by Terence Dicks.
Yes.
Because there are noticeable differences. And they study Robot as a production. So they talk about the writer's storyline.
Yeah.
There's the writer's story breakdown. There's the novelisation that we've just seen. And also some rehearsal script.
Okay.
So given that Tom Baker is sort of challenging the format of Doctor Who with his performance, I think we should challenge the format of our own stuff here
Okay.
and have a go at doing the rehearsal script.
Okay.
So if you want to be Sarah and the Doctor,
Okay.
I'll be
Ooh.
Benton and the robot.
That's a bit worrying, being with the Doctor. I can't obviously.
You played the Doctor.
I have played
You've
the
played
Doctor.
the Doctor more than I have.
Yes, but I can't be like. What I mean is, I can't
Well,
be
just
like
do a voice,
Tom Baker.
do a voice,
So
okay.
I'm not even going to attempt to try.
So
and do
rehearsal
that.
script.
Yes.
Sarah gives the note to Benton.
The idiot. He thinks he can deal with anything.
We'd better get after him, Ooar. I'll round up some of the blokes.
Good idea. I'll meet you there.
Benton opens his mouth to protest,
But Sarah.
has gone.
Yes.
Scene 23, Int, Kettlewell's laboratory, day. The shutters are up. The room is in semi-darkness. The door opens. The Doctor enters and looks around, calling. Looks around. Doctor calling.
Professor Kettlewell, are you there, Professor?
The giant form of the robot appears from the darkness and stalks menacingly towards him. The Doctor regards it with curiosity rather than fear. Regard me with curiosity rather than fear. Go on. What's that?
I don't know.
You are the Doctor.
How do you do? I've been looking forward to meeting you for some time.
Please confirm your identity. You are the one known as the Doctor.
Yes, of course. I am, and I'm very pleased to meet. You're supposed to interrupt.
Well, yes, say it again.
Yes, I am, and I'm very pleased to meet.
You are an enemy of the human race. You must be destroyed. The robot advances menacingly on the Doctor. End titles, end of episode 2. Woo! There you go.
Yes.
Well, you can't say that wasn't different.
No, no. Didn't know what you were letting yourself in for, did you? Really?
But, yeah, Robot zips along as a story, I think. Yes, you've got the whole choosing the costume scene. Isn't there the implication from Terence Dicks later on that the TARDIS does actually take off at one point, and
Yes.
the Doctor goes off to have another
Adventure.
adventure, which will be explained later in The Face of Evil.
Yes.
But I think that's just Terence just sort of retro. What are they calling? What do they call it when you change things after the event?
I can't remember now.
I don't
Yes.
know, retro continuity or something. I'm
Yes,
not
that's
sure.
not the word, never mind.
But the whole robot thing is nice because you've actually got a robot with feelings, and yes, it's the whole King Kong
Yes.
thing, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the robot can barely walk without falling over is neither here nor there. So,
But yeah, I mean, what was it said? Michael Kilgarriff said he had some sort of dream about being trapped in a midget submarine or something, and his wife was concerned that he was almost sort of. He couldn't get a bed out of something. His legs went or something.
Yeah.
He was
yeah. Well,
it was a cumbersome costume, and
it
it had
was.
some effects on him.
It
yeah.
did. It did. He did suffer quite a lot. Yes. But it's a beautiful costume.
And you like Harry in this, don't
I do
you?
like Harry. I really like the bit where Harry, and it was shared by a lot of people on Twitch last night on Twitter, where when he turns up at the think tank to be an inside, like a spy kind of thing, and he's got the bowler hat, and he lifts the bowler hat, and it's very John Steed. But yes, it was. I was thinking about this morning. I actually think had they gone for a different kind of sort of Doctor, that would be a nice costume for the Doctor.
Okay.
And it's a shame Harry doesn't keep it. I appreciate it's not very practical walking
Well,
around.
Harry's a bit weird, isn't it? Because I remember the Doctor Harry Sarah lineup. And I remember really liking it. But he is in a sort of awkward situation in
Yes.
that the reason his character exists
Yes. Is in case they cast
is
another
in case
Doctor.
you had like Richard Hearn as Mr. Pastry as Doctor Who, but Pastry was a comic character
Yeah,
apparently,
apparently.
according to Richard Hearn anyway. And Harry's being there for the sort of strong arm stuff never really works because
No.
it's Tom that has the stand up fight in
Yes.
Sontaran Experiment, and we'll do Sontaran Experiment and Genesis of the Daleks in the next video, I think. So if we just talk about Robot and Ark in Space
Yes.
today, or for this one, then that's fine, because there is quite a fair bit to talk about both
Yes.
these stories, I think.
Yes.
But I said it's all done on video,
Yeah.
which is a conscious decision and will happen more
Yes.
in the future.
In Tom's era.
Yeah. What do you think of the tank? Doesn't really work,
It
does it?
doesn't
But then-
really work, no.
Then
No. But it doesn't help. It's not helped by out of focus CSO in the background or a backdrop. If that had been a little bit sharper, it might have. But no, it doesn't. No. But then Christopher Barry would have been the first to admit it doesn't work.
I mean, Kettlewell's got brilliant mad scientist hair, hasn't
He
he?
has. Lots of people went, oh, look his hair. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's almost like they cast the actor because of his hair. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did he? Was it? He said he could do that. He could like fluff it up.
Yes.
Is that the word? Floof.
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 Floof. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, Robot. I've watched Robot quite a lot actually. It's one I can go back to, and it is, as you said, it's just fun, and that's all it's there. But it's to get the Doctor off to
Yes. A
a
recognisable start.
and,
Yes.
and to contrast him with John Pertwee.
No, it doesn't really. The only thing that contrasts him really is Tom's performance.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
You
but
know.
yeah, had John been in that role, the story itself would have probably unfolded.
Slightly differently.
You know,
We wouldn't get all the stuff in episode 3 when he infiltrates the science music.
the science music.
Science music. The meeting.
Oh, he's doing all
And
these
he's doing
card
all
tricks.
these card
and-
tricks, and John would have probably.
Yeah.
I don't know what John would do. He might have done some magic tricks. He does magic tricks in Three Doctors.
Well, he
but,
does. He gets that coin out of his gob in Monster Peladon, doesn't it? You know, where he sort of boggles his eyes and
Yeah.
the coin appears. So yeah, but yeah,
Tommy's off to a good start.
Tommy's off to a good start, even though he's probably he's firing off in all directions, isn't he?
Because he's trying to work out which way he's going to go.
what works.
Yeah.
And what was it? Liz said she saw Tom and Ian Marta,
Yes, when they're doing the skipping scene.
and
Yes,
she
that
thought,
one.
"Blimey, I'm going to have to up my game," you know,
Yes,
because they were
'cause-
doing it so fast and so
Yeah.
confidently that
Yeah.
she was a bit worried about being left behind. But I don't think she's got any
Oh God,
worries
no,
in that
no. She
department.
really comes into her own
Yeah.
with Tom, I think.
But yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
should we jump on to the
The
Ark in Space?
yes.
Okay. The Ark in Space. Is that the special? Yes, special edition. And I know we've got got to find it now. I know we've got Jelly Babies, but I thought you'd like this as well. So here we go. Special effects, Lisa.
Oh God, okay.
Do 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 bum 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 do 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 do. That was the Ark in Space flying. You see,
It's a flying saucer.
I know it's a flying saucer, but I either had to buy those or Space Raiders.
You don't do
Spa-
Space Raiders anymore.
I saw some Space Raiders in Tesco's today.
Did you?
I did,
Oh,
but I
okay.
decided to get the flying
Other
saucers.
supermarkets are available.
Yes. There's some over the road in
there?
Martin's,
Oh, okay.
Space Raiders. But anyway, chutney flavoured starships you used to get.
Okay, gosh.
No. No.
Keeps you quiet for 5 seconds.
Oh, I see. I see. Ark in Space.
Yes.
When was the first time you saw it? VHS, actually.
VHS Omnibus.
Omnibus.
Yeah. Because it didn't
On
come
the
out.
omnibuses.
It was one of the latest ones to come out on. In fact, I think they started releasing the DVDs by the time they released it episodically on VHS.
Oh, I don't think I ever got the episodic version.
I think I did have the episodic version. Yeah. And then of course it came out on DVD with lots of lovely extras.
Yes, well, yes. I mean, the special edition is what's that one about? Cool Man, cool.
Oh yeah,
What's that?
Kenton Moore's. Is it his grandchildren?
They had some party
Yeah,
watching it, and they were a load of kids
Yeah,
there.
and they were like, yeah, and apparently they were going to come up to me, cool man, cool. According to Kenton Moore.
Yeah, who may be making this
It
up?
might
I
be
don't know.
slightly over exaggerating.
Where's the pink one now? Do
Yeah.
do 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 do. Do you want it?
Yes.
All right.
But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
go on, eat
I
it.
love Ark in Space. It's such a great story. I know the effects aren't always brilliant,
Yeah.
but
But that corridor set
oh,
really
stunning.
is what?
Stunning.
Stunning. It's really burnt into my memory.
Mhm.
And the idea of, well, as we'll see, maybe we haven't seen the last of that set. Not to say
Possibly.
too much now. But the whole idea of having interlinked series of stories that Ark in Space leads into Sontaran Experiment, which sort of leads into Genesis of the Daleks, which leads into
one that's been shown later on.
Yes. The only problem I think with that is that somebody once said you do lose the thing of that's you can't do many publicity shots of the Doctor stepping out of the TARDIS.
No.
Because it's a especially when you're launching a new Doctor.
Yes.
That's one of those iconic shots you sort of want to take.
In fact, you won't see the inside of the TARDIS for quite some time.
The inside of the TARDIS doesn't pop up till Planet of Evil, I think. Yeah, Planet of
Which
Evil.
is the next season.
And it's last seen in Death to the Daleks, Part 1.
So there's a huge gap in between.
It's almost 2 seasons that you don't see inside the TARDIS at all. Which is interesting.
I don't think you really notice it until you actually sit down and think
I never
about
really thought about that, because they say that the Andrew Cartmel era doesn't use the inside of the TARDIS much, but neither does late Pertwee, early Baker.
No.
Interesting. But it's. I mean, people were obviously picking up on the alien parallels.
But this came first.
But this is what's that story about? Was it Tom Baker, Lalla Ward, and I think it was Graham Crowden went to see Alien in the cinema, didn't they? And
I think they the only ones in the cinema. Which there
were a couple of other people, I think. But like Tom says, or was it Lalla? I think said that they were like looking for the alien and trying to work out where the alien was. And Tom's sort of boredom was kicking in with this because. And then he sort of bellows out in his voice, why don't they just go down to the hold and bore the alien to death?
Yes.
Which is quite fun, because I do have a thing about science fiction taking itself too seriously.
Yes.
And I love lines in Ark in Space, like, my doctorate is purely honorary and Harry here is only qualified to work on sailors.
Yes.
Whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yes.
But... as I said, I remember the original transmission, but it's all got a bit mixed up in my head with Ian Marter's novelisation, which does up the horror content quite a lot, because this whole thing about how Noah's head splits open and all this stuff fizzes out and burns through his.
Yeah, they can't obviously do that. His
spacesuit and stuff.
I think it's quite nasty because you get that shot at the end of episode 3.
Where he's half
Wirren and half and the Wirren, and that is quite nasty. The stuff where he's actually they cut the stuff where he begs Farah to kill him, didn't they? But,
that's a bit earlier. But,
but it's just.
I did notice that people were sort of decrying the original bubble wrap bit where he's got the hand, but later on when it's half over his head, they were going, oh, actually, that's quite nasty. And
you have to give him points for the fact that he doesn't burst any of the bubbles when he's putting it on the console, or you can't hear it. They've put enough noise over the top of it to stop you hearing the bubbles burst.
But who's your favourite character of the Ark personnel then?
Rogan.
Why Rogan?
I don't know. Because I really like Richardson Morgan. He's
normal?
The most normal person.
Yeah.
He is the way that if you were on there, you would react. You'd be like, oh, God, it's all gone wrong, hasn't it?
Yeah, I like being on the Earth. I like heat. And it makes my teeth itch and stuff like that.
I like the bit about, like, we should have stayed in the shelters. We would happily dead by now.
But it's nice to have somebody who's a bit more... it has to be said realistic, isn't it?
Yes, he's a proper good Robert Holmes
Because science
character.
fiction can often suffer from everybody taking it too seriously, and certain Star Trek episodes that I could name where you just want somebody to react normally to it.
Press the wrong button.
It does start to become very mannered
because they never press the wrong button.
Oh no, hang on, that one.
I do all the time. Oh damn, I pressed the wrong button.
What's that Star Trek film? The first of the new ones with the new cast, and there's this bit at the thing where at the start where the spaceship's sort of exploding and everybody's getting off, and is it Kirk or Kirk's dad? I don't know.
I think it's Kirk's dad.
Kirk's dad is the last one, and he's doing this heroic stuff,
doesn't he? So.
And he sort of goes out, and I said to you, you're missing a bit where he runs back in and goes, oh blimey, I left the keys in the ignition, and has to get the keys out of the spaceship and run back out again or something like that. And that's what normal people would do.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously never is that, you know.
But yeah, fantastic set. Fantastic concept, and it just comes off.
It does.
I think.
It does.
It really lays out, this is a new Doctor, and we're going to tell new stories. And again, it's an emergency story, isn't it?
It is.
Because
it is.
there's what was it?
John Le Carrotti
and Christopher Langley as well were
have both written
versions of it. Because there's the John Le Carrotti version, which is like, you've got episode titles like Golf Ball and Puff Ball.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's something about they've got heads and no bodies, and bodies and no heads, and the Doctor hits the heads off into space with a golf club at the end.
Which you couldn't do.
And that just sounds very silly. I'm
It
sorry.
does. It does. It's just... Yeah. I mean, you have to hold your hand up to...
What do you think of Liz in this? Because I know Liz said she was a bit worried that Sarah sort of has to stand around and not do very much.
Well, I still think she's very strong. I mean, I know a lot of people... I noticed last night, and also, again, in Steven's book, that there's a lot of stuff, stop it, about the Doctor being mean to Sarah. But he only does that because it's a way of motivating her getting out of the ventilation shaft. The first of many they will show.
In the book, again, I remember that Sarah's going through this shaft.
Oh, in the Wirren season.
Well, it's made of glass.
Yeah.
And the Wirren sort of comes up and gets its jaws clamped around the thing, trying to crack it to get at her. And again, all you get, I think it sort of looks at her through a grill or something in the sort of TV version.
Yeah.
But again, it's Ian Marter just ramping it up a bit.
Yes. You always know with Ian Marter's books that he always makes the violence and the horror a little bit more.
Beyond what you could actually
get away with on
either
television.
show or even possibly even stage on TV.
Yeah.
But I like that because you're pushing the envelope a bit because it's a book, it's not a TV show.
No.
And I mean, some people want the books to be exact replicas of what was on TV, but as these stories became more available, if there was new stuff in the books, and maybe we should talk about that for Sontaran Experiment, because there's something about a cat called Gremilkin in the Sontaran Experiment book. If I can find it, I don't know. I need to look. But there you go. Anyway, so two very different stories.
Yes.
But Tom Baker's already owning the part
He
by
is.
the end of
He's
this,
already the
isn't
Doctor.
he?
He's already the Doctor by the end of Robot.
Yeah, but he really is by the end of
by
Ark
the end
in
of
Space.
the Ark in Space. And obviously you get his wonderful speech about humanity.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. So we'll come back shortly or tomorrow, or more likely.
Well,
with
we might do it today. It might be out tomorrow.
yes, I might have the same shirt on, unless we swap. No. So we'll come back and see you soon then.
Okay.
Bye bye.